What up, soul family? Period. We back with another video, and this video is gonna be different. Y'all gonna get to see on me, not all this other topics or whatever this time. Like, y'all gonna get to see on me. What's been going on with my life since day one, how I moved to like the Virgin Islands, and people might be wondering why here. And yeah, so we just gonna get the tea on me, because I'm a private person. I don't really like do all this, so it's kind of new. Hopefully I don't forget many stuff, because I have the tendency of doing that. You know, when you go through traumatic stuff, you kind of like block out the memory or whatever, but hopefully spirit is with me and I recall everything that happened. So yeah, let's get into it.
Them no know, them no know, them no know. Say me a real top girl. Them fi know me a real top girl, real top girl, real top girl. Me can do it natural.
Okay, let me sip my orange juice real quick. I'm gonna try not to make it too long. Try. So I got my watermelon with me too. Let's see if it still tastes fresh. Okay, period. I woke up dehydrated this morning, so gotta get my nutrients in. But anywho, as you know, my name is Jaya. Last name Taylor. Middle name, none of your damn business. And I was born in the Bronx, New York. And I think I lived there for like about, I want to say like 8 years or so. But in between that, I moved to St. Kitts for a year. And before we get into all that, yeah, I went to school and everything in the Bronx, you know, PS 68. PS means public school. If you didn't know, if you're not from New York, PS means public school. So, public school 68. There you go. I don't know. No matter where I've gone, the one thing I could say, like the common denominator between each school I went to is like, people didn't really like me. From small, I wasn't really getting along with certain females, because it really wasn't the boys. But one thing I could say about the boys, they was thirsty as hell at a young age. And me, I was like, I don't like boys. Ew, y'all nasty. That's how I always thought, like, boys nasty, like, get the F out of my face. I still feel like this to this day, but I'm gonna lead up to that. But anyways, yeah, that's the common denominator I dealt with. So yeah, born in the Bronx, lived there, and then my grandpa got shot while I was like going into the 2nd grade. So me, my mom, and my sister, we moved to St. Kitts for a year. So I took school there. Same type of drama. Move away from my orange juice. Sorry, it's my cat. Stop. Anyways. Yeah, moved there for a year. And moved there for a year. Sorry. And living in St. Kitts, I thank God for that experience, because that brought back some type of culture to me. Like, yes, I was born in the States, but to go back home and actually, because in Connecticut, oh shit. I skipped the place. I'm sorry, my story's all over the place. Sorry, because I had to move like so many places. But anyways, in New York, I'm gonna say I didn't really have much family. In the States, period, I didn't have much family. Everybody was like back in the Caribbean, or they was in Canada, or they was in England. So we're just like, okay, you know, it was like kind of lonely in a sense. So yeah, in New York, I didn't have much family. Like, it was just mainly friends or whatever. So yeah, going to St. Kitts and like usually what we would do like around Christmas time, people from like my father's side and my mother's side, they would link up in St. Kitts. No matter where they lived, like if they lived in Florida, they would come down to St. Kitts for Christmas. So, because my whole family's from St. Kitts, so we would all do that during Christmas. And plus, my birthday is New Year's Eve, and then we have Carnival around the same time. So going to St. Kitts around December time was like definitely an experience. So it gave me a lot of cultural experience, and I really am glad for that because I kept that with me. Like, even though I went back to the States, I still have the mentality of like, you know, I'm Caribbean, like I know where I come from. I used to visit St. Kitts every other year and also lived there for a year. So it was like, you can't really take that away from me. Like, you know, you can't tell me I'm not Caribbean, because come on, I didn't experience it enough to know what the hell is what, you know? So yeah, that's that. I had to put that out there because I hate the statement where it's like, you born in the States and you're Caribbean, but like some Caribbean people be like, you're not Caribbean still, like you don't understand the culture, blah 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 blah. It don't matter. Like, even if there is like somebody from the States that like fully embrace the state side, they don't really know much about their Caribbean side, they're still Caribbean at the end of the day. You don't say that to Asian people, you don't say that to Hispanic people, you don't say that to African people. So why is it different for Caribbean people? That never made sense to me. But do you, baby? Do you? I don't know, it's because you don't have an accent or whatever the case may be, but it's just an accent. Like, come on. The culture, I know music, I know the food, I know the history, like, come on. So it's like, is that really a strong argument? Do you want to check my I forgot what that thing is where like you send in a DNA test and they tell you where you're from. Do you want to see that? I was about to cuss, but the F, the hell. Anyways, yeah. So I came back from St. Kitts after doing the second grade, and when I tell y'all, right, I came back from St. Kitts, and keep this in mind, second grade, I went there for second grade. I learned cursive there. I learned how to read clocks. And plus it was the British, you know, education system, so it was automatically more advanced than America. So I came back to America, came back to the Bronx, and I was leading my classes all the way to the 6th grade. I kid you not. I was literally in school just like bored, like, all right, I already know this already. All the way up to the 6th grade, I knew stuff. And it was like, damn, y'all just now learning this? I learned this in the 2nd grade. So it was like, and the thing is, I thank God too, because I came back to the States and they did not teach cursive once. So if I didn't go to the States, if I didn't go to St. Kitts and learn cursive, I would have learned cursive. That's really crazy to me. Like, I was learning them exams, everything was like hard for like 2nd grade, but I kept up though. Like, I kept my good grades. Like, I'm a smart gal, you know. I be trying to put on a little palm white accent sometimes. But yeah, that was like a lot. So since I was leading the classes or whatever, my mom decided, like, you know, to take me out of the school or whatever, because it was like, it don't make sense for me to pull all the weight, one person, when there's like 27 people. I don't know how much people is in a class, but something around a big amount in the class, and there's just one person that's pulling up. She was like, it's not fair or whatever. So whatever. Fast forward to that. I didn't really have no family issues back in New York. I mean, I did, but I was too young to recall any of it. But I just know, like, my grandma would tell me stories how, because she used to live, the first house that we lived in, we moved so many times, y'all, oh my gosh. But the first house that we lived in, my grandparents used to live downstairs, and me and my parents used to live upstairs. This is before my sister even came, right? So she would tell me every time they would argue, like, I would run downstairs with my little, it wasn't a teddy bear, I think it was like a pillow, something that was comforting to me, and I would go downstairs and, like, you know, seek comfort from my grandma whenever they would argue. But I don't remember them arguing and stuff like that. That's what she told me. I didn't really get into to how they were arguing until like 3 houses later. I'm telling you, y'all, like, we done moved so many times. Like, if it's not a different state, then it's a different house. So it was like I could never find like a sturdy, comfortable like house. Like, I knew if I moved into that one, it wasn't gonna last forever. Like, you know. So that's that. Now, fast forward to Connecticut. I moved to Connecticut after being in New York for like 8 years. Moved to Connecticut. We started off in West Haven. I don't know if you guys know where that is, but we started off in West Haven. We lived with my godparents, and it's like we couldn't even make that last. Like, it was just like so much going on. But yeah, I was still like young. Hold on. Sorry, I keep like skipping because it's like, how do I really explain all this, you know? But basically, the moral of that is I lived in New York, St. Kitts, Connecticut, and now the Virgin Islands. Okay, that's the places that I've lived. Now, the houses that I lived in is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 apartments, places. 7 places that I've been. That's not counting the states, but I'm just kind of like houses and apartments. It's been like houses. It's been like 7 houses / apartments that I've lived in. Okay. Felt like a damn military child. And now the schools that I've been to is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different schools, and that's just elementary school. When I went to Connecticut, I went to this school called King Robinson, and I went there starting the 4th grade. And that was the longest and the first time that I've ever stayed at a school. Like, I was so happy. Like, damn, I actually made it to like 2 years. I was like, wow, like I made it all the way to graduation, which was 8th grade. So that was really an accomplishment for me. So then I went to high school after. I stayed the whole high school. I was like, whew, okay, I finally felt settled, but I was still moving houses. So it was a lot. The reason we moved houses a lot was just like poverty issues. Like, couldn't really find a house to really be settled in. We was renting our whole lives. Like, we never bought a house. That's one thing I want to do when I get older. I want to buy a house, like, and stay there. I don't got time for this renting ish. But yeah, we rented a lot and we moved a lot because of that. So yeah. The reason we moved from New York to Connecticut is because my dad got into some type of altercation with the landlord. So we ended up moving to Connecticut with my godparents because they offered us to stay there until we got ourselves together and found another apartment in Connecticut. So yeah, my dad always had before I say like my dad always had an issue, my dad is like mentally ill. He never went to a doctor to really diagnose him, but like his behavior is not like normal people. So it's like, you know, something's wrong with him mentally, and it progressed over the years. So it's like, you can't really deny it, you know. He's denying it because, you know, when you tell people that they mentally ill, they're not gonna believe you. Like, it's different from like depression and stuff like that. You kind of know when you're depressed, but it was like more like, I went to a therapist and she was like, your dad sounds like he's bipolar, but he also sounds schizophrenic. So it's like 2 in 1, thanks. But yeah, dealing with that now. My dad being schizophrenic and all. I'm not gonna lie, it was hard. It was hard because one day he's showing love and he wants to be affectionate and all that stuff, and then the next minute, like, how do I explain this? It was kind of like, damn. I don't know, because I told y'all, like, I blocked it out of my memory, so trying to recite everything and what happened is like, but he basically used to mentally abuse me, my sister, and my mother. And how he met my mother was kind of like a sketchy story to me. Like, when she told me when I got older, it was like, it didn't sound like he really loved you. Like, he just wanted like emotional support, or like somebody to manipulate in a way, you know. And what's better than taking somebody, mind you, my mom was born in St. Kitts, so she didn't move to the States until she got married to my dad. So like the way how it kind of went down, I was like, it kind of sounded like, you know, he just wanted somebody to manipulate. Like, it really wasn't like true love or whatever. But yeah, he was spiritual too, so I feel like in a sense he was kind of stuck in that spiritual ego point. Like, you know how like you wake up and you know you have your third eye awakening, and then all of a sudden you feel like you're better than everybody else because you know all this certain information. That's kind of how he carried on his life. So it was kind of like a spiritual ego thing, plus your mental illness, plus you didn't heal. It's like, and then you decided to have a family. It's kind of like, it kind of effed with all of our heads. So dealing with that is like, it's like people see me around, and since I just keep my head straight and I don't really speak about what I go through at home, everybody thought like, okay, she got two parents, you know, like she's cool, like she's fine, she don't really be going through stuff. But that was really, really hard for me growing up, like the insecurities that he planted on me, because in a way, like, yes, he would hype me up and be like, you know, I want you to be better than me or whatever. But then when I start doing better, it's like, oh, you think you better than me? It's like, bro, you told me. You told me to do all this. What you mean? Like, and then me and my sister, like, we dealt with it in different ways because I'm the oldest and my sister, she's the youngest. So automatically, from a young age, like, my parents worked a lot. So, especially my mom. So, like, it would be points where, like, I would come home alone, me and my sister, and, like, you know, I have to look after my sister, whatever. You know, like a big sister. Like, it really wasn't nothing at the time. Like, I was strong enough to do that. But at the end of the day, it kind of was like a mental strain on me. And I didn't really understand where my emotions was coming from at the time, because I didn't pay attention to, like, their drama and them arguing and stuff like that. Like, I would just be in my room. I would isolate myself in my room, and me and my sister shared a room. So, like, in order to block out what the hell they was going through, like, I would play music, or I love dancing, I would do that, or I would try to, like, hang out with friends if I could or whatever. But I would just block them out of my memory, so like I wouldn't really pay attention to whatever the hell they was going on. And as I got older, like, I started to just stay in the house less, because I didn't want to be there, like and like I was depressed before I even knew what depression was, because like being in that house and like them arguing every single day. And then like what made things worse was every time my dad would argue with my mom, or they would argue with each other, and he was upset at my mom, he would take it out on me. And the reason being is because I'm so much like my mom, looks wise, personality wise, everything. It's like he kind of took that out on me. And when he would drop me off to school in the morning, like, he would talk about my mom in a bad way, or like the drama that they got going on. And mind you, like, I'm a little kid. I don't even pay attention to what the hell y'all got going on. Why do you keep bringing me into your arguments, into your drama? It wasn't just about him and my mom. Like, if he was going through an argument with another adult, he would bring me in that drama too. And I'm like, bro, I'm a child. Number one, I don't care. And number two, I'm not old enough, or I haven't lived life enough to experience or understand what you're going through. So it's like, I can't give you no advice. What's the point of venting to me? Like, come on, you just want to hear yourself talk, but you're talking to the wrong person. If you're gonna vent, talk to an adult. Like, it's like he forced me to grow up in that sense, because, you know, you wanted to have an adult conversation with a child. So it's like, it kind of forced me to like grow up more than I should have. Being in, you know how adults would tell you this is grown folk business. My dad ain't care. But like, it makes sense why they say that, because like mentally a child cannot comprehend those type of stuff. So it's like, what is your point? But anyway, yeah. And like every time I would be like, you know, I don't want to hear all this. Like, I would actually stand up for myself. Like, I don't want to hear all this. He'd be like, oh, if you don't want to hear all this, then you're not part of the family. Like, the ways my dad would try to manipulate me was like, damn. And it's like, mind you, in Connecticut, I didn't have no family. I didn't have no aunts, no cousins, no nothing. All I had was friends. It was just the four of us. Everybody else was either in the Caribbean, or my grandparents lived in Florida. So it's like, I couldn't physically go anywhere. I had to deal with that unless, you know, I indulged in some other stuff. I was active in high school, so, you know, I would do cheer after school, and when cheer season was done, I would do track after school. But I would make sure, like, I would want to be home less, because I didn't want to hear all that. It's either my dad is arguing with my mom, or he's trying to pick stuff with me. And it's like, it was very tiring at a young age, because it's like, come on, bro, like, I'm this young. I haven't even experienced life yet. Like, but yeah, that was like, it really started brewing up in like the fifth house that we lived in, honestly. Like, all of a sudden, not even the sixth house, I think the sixth house, one of them, but like, I'll really say it really started picking up bad around COVID, obviously, because we were stuck in the house. I don't even know how long the lockdown was for. I think the lockdown was probably like, what, 6 months or so. So yeah, it just started brewing up. And mind you, around that time I had a job, I had a boyfriend, I was getting ready for college. So in my dad's mind, it's like, oh, you think you're grown because you have this, that, and that. Like, he would imply, like, why don't you go live with your boyfriend? Like, oh, you having sex, you think you're grown? Why does sex make me grown? What are you trying to imply in your daughter's head, you know? It's like he would negatively think and like try to project on my life. And thank God I was strong-minded enough to know, like, his predictions on my life is not true. Like, he would predict jail or pregnancy or whatever the hell. I mean, I'm like, damn, bro. Look, I didn't even reach college yet. And even when I did reach college, I didn't have the best GPA. And he was like, oh, you think I'm getting in college with those grades? I did. And then all of a sudden, I'm proud of you. And the thing is, too, like, he's a type where he's a show-off. Even though things are not going swell at home, to his friends and family, he wants to make it seem that way. So yes, he would brag about me to his friends or whatever, but it was only just to brag. Like, it was only on a lying matter. But at the end of the day, deep down in them closets, under them skeletons, our house was not perfect at all. So I don't understand why he was bragging like that and didn't even say nothing to me. All of a sudden, I'm hearing from like family members and other stuff that like he's bragging about me, but like bringing me down mentally in person. I was like, bro. So when I started standing up for myself, me and my dad's relationship just got like, it died out. That's all I can say. Because I started standing up to myself. And once you stand up to a narcissist, they don't like that. So it's like, I kind of had to accept it. It was either like stand up for myself and like discover myself on my own or keep being manipulated, even though he is my father. Like, I just hadn't made a choice, like, do I cut him off or whatever? And eventually I did cut him off because it was too negative. Like, it was too overbearing for me. I had my own life to live, and especially when I got to college, coming from that household and then going into the real world, I got even more depressed. And I had a manipulating, I'm not even gonna say that. I had a toxic relationship as well. So that's trying to find myself, and then in the midst of that, things got really bad between my parents. So my mom ended up moving out, and it was like I was kind of like the middleman. Like, at one point they both were taking their frustrations out on me, and it's like, damn, I'm not even in the household. So it's like, it was a lot. And in between that, still trying to discover myself, like, yeah, I almost became like suicidal in a sense. Like, not saying I wanted to like kill myself like direct, but it was like, if I walk out into the street right now and a car's coming, I'm not gonna stop. I don't care if you hit me or not, type of shit. Like, I didn't really care to live. I didn't force myself to really get killed, but I didn't care to live, you know? Kind of like a suicidal thing. Went to therapy on and off. Didn't work. I tried therapy since like high school, and I tried it again in college. It didn't work. Cause I don't know, like, the things they were telling me, it's like, okay, cool. They told me stuff to heal it in the moment, kind of thing. It was kind of like they were being, because it was a school therapist, so it was like they were kind of being a therapist to just do their job. Like, it really wasn't a helping matter. Like, and plus me, I already knew what to do deep down, because all the stuff they were telling me I already knew. Because I mean, I've been spiritual, I just didn't really tap into that until like, I don't know, second year of college. So yeah, I felt lonely during my childhood. Even though like I was surrounded by family and friends in a sense, I still felt lonely. I still felt like, damn, like I can't really go to nobody, because either my mom was busy arguing, or I couldn't go to my dad at all. I tried, and like it didn't work. He definitely shut that whole thing down. He didn't even want me to go to therapy. Talking about some, I don't want my business out there. You know how some parents be. So yeah, I just kept all my thoughts to myself, all my feelings, and then at one point I just became nonchalant and very, very mad. Like, even my mom would tell me, like, back then I was like mad. I would have this face, I'll have this look on my face and just be like mad at the world. I used to get bullied over some petty stuff. Like me, I've always been a friendly person, especially when it, you know, came to boys. And even though I was aware that like some boys were flirting with me, I would still like, I'm a friendly person. So I guess it was kind of like coming off as like I was like a hoe, but I wasn't effing nobody. I wasn't texting nobody, nothing. Like, the most a boy would get from me back then is like a kiss. And like, it all started because some little thing. So yeah, I would get bullied for the littlest things, or like people didn't like me because, you know, when you're original and when you're different and when you're a chosen one in a sense, you get picked out as the odd one. So I was picked out as the odd one, and yeah. So it's like I didn't really feel like I had friends like that. I bought into societal norms because I wanted to fit in. It was just like I was tired of being the odd one. I was tired of being like, why doesn't people like me? Like, why am I such an easy target for people? I don't even do nothing to nobody, you know? Like, I was always nice. I was always to myself. So for me to like be picked on and not really know why back then, it was like I tried so hard to fit in, and I kind of like lost myself. So when I got to college, I had to let go of all of that, you know? And it was hard for me because it was like I was like the ghetto chick for a little bit. I got into a fight. Get to a fight, like everybody was shocked. Like me, everybody knows me as the nice person. I don't do nothing to nobody. I mind my business. So like me getting into a fight was like, wow, it shocked everybody. And like New Haven is small. And even Connecticut is small. So like once you get into something, everybody in your business. And plus there was a video, so it was like, I mean, I ain't saying she ain't deserve it, but you know. I mean, anyway, cause I was, honestly, that was kind of like my excuse to like get my anger out. She caught me at a bad time. She really did. I was going through so much at the time. I used to have panic attacks back then, all that. So she caught me at a really bad time, and I end up taking my blows out on her. Sorry. But the past is the past, though. We don't need to worry about that. But yeah. But yeah, got into college, and it's got worse. You thinking like you go to college and you kind of like, I mean, in a sense, like I had freedom to do what I had to do, but mentally, it got worse. I had to heal in order to start enjoying life and actually doing good in school, because me mentally being depressed and everything like that, it was affecting my grades. So came like the second year, I decided to get my itch together, because around then I had like money from like unemployment, so I was traveling and stuff like that, and I got a chance to travel to Miami, St. Thomas. I went to New York a lot with my friends, and then I was like, yeah, boom, I gotta heal. Like I got that experience, and I was like, I gotta heal. But yeah, sorry. These good. But yeah, boom. So I decided to heal, right? I decided to heal. I cut off friends, broke up with my ex, and I wasn't interested in making new friends. At that point, it was just like, I'm getting the bag and I'm getting my grades up. So I spent a lot of time trying to study, focus on classes, and going to school. And I was doing overnight at Amazon. And I quit Amazon and I started doing overnight at FedEx. So, I mean, it wasn't that bad, the overnight in school. I mean, it was like, damn, I was tired. Like, you could see it in my face. But, you know, I had to do what I had to do because I was paying my own tuition at the end of the day. Yeah. So, I mean, I had a little bit of help here and there, but, like, I still had to come up with my half, in a sense. So, it was like, yeah. I still owe the school money. But, anyways, that's a story for another day. But, yeah, did that, and it was hard for me to heal because I had to bring up all the stuff that I've been through. The stuff that I'm talking about now, I'm only giving y'all the brief, but if I was to really go into details, timeline on what the hell happened in my life, this would be like a whole 5-hour video, probably even more. Like, so, you know, going through all of that and then trying to heal all of that and not having really much guidance, or like, because I felt like at the moment I was the only one healing, like in my friend group, in my family. So it was like I had to do it on my own. I couldn't go to anybody for advice or whatever because like nobody else was doing it with me. It was just me. Excuse me. So I had to like isolate myself and get myself together in private until I was ready to like pop out as the new me and just get jiggy with it again. But yeah, that was hard because I feel like the hardest part was letting go of who people expected me to be, and letting go of the me that was trying to fit in with the crowd. So I had to let go of that like fake personality-ish, like the ghetto Jaya, just doing too much and being a bird. I had to let that go, and then I had to let go of the version my dad wanted me to be, and family-wise and everything like that. I had to figure out who was Jaya. And growing up and never knowing who that was outside of trauma, it was very hard, because I was like rebirthing myself and having no direction to go to, you know. But I'm glad that I took the time to do that, because shit, here I am now, you know. I live in life, I know who I am, I'm strong in that. I don't let people push me over, I don't let people manipulate me, because I've been there, done that. Like, come on. You can't get to me, especially if you was a man. You definitely not getting your way with me, definitely. And now it's to the point where I be telling boys straight up what it is and what it ain't. And if you don't like it, you could go. And it's the same thing with friends too. I'm setting up my boundaries strict. And if you don't like it, you can go. Like, I can stand on my own now and stand strong and knowing that I did what I had to do. And you just cut off yourself, basically, if you can't even respect that. But anyways, I do that with multiple people. And I had to learn, like, when you heal and when you become yourself, a lot of people not gonna like you. And that's why I was getting the hate that I was back then. Because back then, before I even knew it, you know, my inner child, I knew who I was. And I expressed myself freely, and people didn't like that. So, because people didn't like that, I was trying to fit in and like, let me dim myself down. I dim myself down a lot for a lot of people. But now I'm not doing that no more. You want to be part of my life, you're going to have to accept me for who I am. Don't try to come in my life and try to change me for your liking. Go find somebody else. What you think this is? Anyways. Yeah, so healed, and then how I ended up in St. Croix was my mom, when she moved out, she moved to St. Kitts. But then she decided that she wanted to make U.S. money, and it would be easier for me and my sister to get with her when, you know, she's in the Virgin Islands or whatever. So she moved to St. Croix with my uncle. Well, my uncle been in St. Croix. She didn't move with him, but like she moved into his house. This is his house right now. Beautiful, isn't it? Yes. Anyways, during the summertime, when college was like over, I stayed at the house, which drains me completely. It was like, because at first I was healing, you know, but then I had to move back to the house for my sister, and like I wasn't gonna leave her alone for a whole summer with my dad, knowing that what he was putting her through mentally as well. Like I was like, nah, I can't leave her alone, bro. So, you know, I moved back in the house or whatever for the summer. And then when it was time for me to go back to school, my sister, she wanted to stay in Connecticut with my dad, you know, because my dad treated her like as the favorite in a sense. So like she wanted to be there for him, but like she was willing to put aside like the hurt and everything to stay with him. But I'm like, bro, you have to think about yourself. Like, I'm looking future wise. If you stay here mentally, you're going to it's not gonna end up well for you, and I want the best for you. So I really had to convince her to move with my mom. The argument, she was like, it's too hot, da-da-da. I'm like, girl, your mental health is more than the hotness. And now she come here, she's like, it ain't even that hot, because it's not. There's no humidity down here. It's hot, but it ain't no humidity. That's the difference. Shit, New York summers be hotter than the islands. Like, but yeah, convinced her to do that. So she ended up moving to St. Croix before me, and I ended up finishing off the semester, whatever. And the thing is too, I wasn't gonna move to St. Croix so quick. Honestly, I was aiming for to live with my mom during the summer and go to school, or I think I was aiming towards finishing, I don't know, but I wasn't planning. I was giving myself like a couple of years before I moved to St. Croix, but God was like, no, baby, your time is now. So I was like, okay, cool. I ain't mad at it. The only thing that kind of like I had a risk was, you know, going to school. But one thing I learned down here, if I lived down here for 2 years, I could go to school here for free. Might as well settle for that. Feel me? I mean, why not? Going to college for free? Yeah. So yeah, I finished out the semester, tried to get my grades up, kind of failed. I couldn't do it. I mean, it was, yeah, I couldn't do it. So yeah, I failed school, and I was like, damn, like I really thought I was gonna pass too. I was like, damn, I worked my butt off, but nah, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. So yeah, end up failing. But I came here, and how I came here was crazy. The last 2 weeks I was supposed to come, right? Something happened and I couldn't make it to my job, and I was like, damn, I need money to travel. Like, I already bought my plane ticket, but it was like, I mean, what if something go wrong? I only had like $100 or something in my pocket, and I'm planning to travel. But I was like, you know what, God, I trust you. I didn't have transportation to the airport, so bro, I was stressing. And then I had to move a day earlier because of my college, and like, yo, I was crying, bro. Like, I was like, yo, how the hell am I supposed to travel $100 and something? I don't even have transportation. I was like going crazy, but I ended up texting everybody like the week before, right? Like, hey, I'm moving, y'all. And mind you, I went silent for months on people. So for me to text them a week before that I'm moving, everybody was like, what the like, Jaya, why would you sprung this on us like that? Like, serious. Like, I haven't seen nobody in weeks type of thing, because I was healing, and all of a sudden I'm texting them that I'm leaving the States. They're like, yo. But anyway, I ended up texting my godmother that, because, you know, she was the first person that took us in to Connecticut, you know? So it was like, I had to pay my respect when she was like, you know, I got a ride for you. I'm gonna take you to the airport. And I was like, thank you, Lord. That's why she's my godmother, for a reason. So yeah, even went up to the house, right? The night before, my god sister gave me like $400. She said that she was gonna sell me money, right? I'm thinking, okay, like a quick 20, you know? But $400, I was like, woo! Thank God. My suitcase was kind of like small. They gave me a new suitcase. Went to the airport, right? My thing was overweight, but they didn't even catch that. He just let me go. I was like, yo, God is with me. Like, this trip is meant for me. Even though it didn't feel like at the moment that I was supposed to be traveling, because money and everything wasn't right, God was with me. I swear. It took me. I had to really keep my faith with that one, because even finding a perfect flight was like a struggle for me, but thank God. I was supposed to take the boat because I flew to St. Thomas because it was cheaper. Then I was going to take the boat to St. Croix, but my mom ended up paying for a plane ticket for me to go to St. Croix. I was like, yo, God is good. So ever since then, came here, started healing a little bit more, because, you know, I wasn't finished healing, but God just rushed me to this place. I'm going to say rushed, because that's what it felt like. The process was quick. Like, I didn't expect to finish the semester and be here, you know? So I was really giving myself some time. But yeah, came here, started healing more. And since it's the Caribbean, I felt, you know, I feel like back at home in a sense, even though St. Croix is not my home, where my family's from, but it's, you know, it's close enough. St. Kitts is like, it's like right there still. But yeah, continued healing more, met new people, stepped into my purpose more, and yeah, I'm here and I'm happy. Like, this is the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. But I really just feel like I could just live stress free. You know how heartwarming that is for me, like, to really live a life stress free. And I've been stressing about life since basically I came out the womb. Like, it feels so good. And to really have this testimony at the age of 19 is like a blessing. And I know God has something great for me in the future planned out, and I can't wait to live that truth out. I can't wait to express my story more. I can't wait to fully step into my purpose. YouTube, I'm gonna really take this, far, because I love expressing myself. I love speaking my truth. I love giving advice, and all the stuff that I've learned so far. I was gonna say in this lifetime, but my life not over. But all the stuff that I've learned so far, I can't wait to share that knowledge. And I'm also, when I go back to school, I'm gonna study psychology, so that's gonna help my knowledge even more. But yeah, I can't wait. So yeah, that's my little testimony right there. Life has been hard for me, and it's okay. I've been through a lot, sexually, everything. But all I can say is, you're kept alive for a reason. I'm gonna say that one more time. You are kept alive for a reason. And I even seen this thing the other day too. It's like, once you have life, you have hope. So keep on pushing forward, even when you get to those suicidal points. Like, count your simple blessings. Like, you have a roof over your head, and even though it may be hard to live under that roof, like, a lot of people, if you the internet is big. It shows everything around the world. Like, you could look on YouTube and see how, like, certain people are living in different countries, and it's kind of like, okay, I don't have it that bad, so let me, and the day will come where you will start to see the brighter day. Trust me. I didn't think I was gonna see a brighter day. I didn't think I was gonna see myself at this point, but I'm here, so every chance that you get, just try to heal, try to remind yourself that life is bigger than what you're going through at this moment. You will see the light, you will see the brighter day. Just focus on you, focus on staying true to you no matter what nobody says. Focus on your truth no matter what is going on in your life, because people's projection onto you is how they really feel about themselves. It's not about you. It never was about you. It's about them and how they feel about themselves. But if you are content and you continue to put out that good karma, even though people are spreading badness about you, I promise you, you're going to win. Shit, that's what helped me. Everything I went through, I never took it out on nobody. I never turn into a snake. I never turned into a manipulator. Like, I stayed true to myself no matter what. Even though I was like kind of fitting into like societal stuff, but deep down in my heart was pure at the end of the day. I never did nobody wrong. And boom, life gonna work out for you as long as you stick to that, It be hard. It really do be hard, but listen. If you're watching this, you're gonna get there one day. It might take a couple of months, couple of weeks, couple of years, but you're gonna get there. And I even seen this thing too, like, set a goal for yourself. Say, okay, in 2 years, I wanna do blah, 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 blah. But you feel like it can't be done in 2 years. 2 years is gonna pass regardless, no matter what you do. No matter if you go towards that goal or not. 2 years is gonna pass regardless. God's will. You might as well work on what you have to work on. So in 2 years, you could see yourself in that situation instead of 2 years going by and it's like, damn, I could have done that, Because time is just an illusion. Time goes by no matter who says what or do what. Who leaves or comes in, time's still going to go by. So, yeah, thank you for tuning in. I enjoyed sharing my story. If you want to know more details, just let me know. But yeah, that's just a brief thing on it. I try to keep it short and peaceful. Try to not make it a sob story. Because in reality, living that ish was a sad story. But we ain't trying to make it all that. We ain't trying to relive all that. Trying to move on, be peaceful. Yeah. Shout out to you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Even put on that notification bell if you want to know every time I post, period. And more advice is coming. Bro, Stay in tune. And be who you are for your pride. Even if you're not part of the community, I'm not, but it resonates still. Be who you are for your pride, period. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one.